believe Professor Ernesto, you have the cool stuff now to talk about, AI and...
Well, yeah, you wanted to bring, let's say, the technologist perspective, but when I see the notion of waves of opportunity. So from the other side of some of the problems that were discussed, I took notes: climate, energy, food security, water. All those, yes, are problems, but also waves of opportunity for new economic development based on the technologies that you are trying to create in order to handle these problems. And those are basically areas where, for example, the UAE already has strategies that involve the education system, that involve the research system. I would like to add that my preferred ones, which are the more technological ones, the three areas which are digital finance, AI, of course, and the large language models, and the third one is quantum technology. I'm moving, watching in time, maybe I'm in a progressive way, but these three areas also are areas for which the countries, many countries in the region, and the UAE first, have already strategies for development, and not just scientific development, but economic development, because all these opportunity waves also are changes to the ecosystems of the innovation, the ecosystem of the new companies, the ecosystem of the new products. So in a certain sense, these problems also bring an opportunity, especially for the younger generations, right, to invest in their capabilities. And what is the difference, though? Because we were discussing at the beginning that we were already there when some waves of opportunity already started in the world, the one of the internet, for example. The original opportunities, the original technology waves were mostly global. And these days, instead, all the waves that I mentioned tended to be regional. And the reason is that there is a perimeter of control. You think of LLMs, you think of AI, you think of quantum technology, all those are being developed on a regional basis. There is this notion of perimeter. So it is no longer accessible, even from the IP access point of view, which the IP access used to be a global market in which you needed IP, you would buy it. You would buy some company from somewhere to get the IP. And this is no longer that easy, because the IP is regionalized and there is this notion of digital sovereignty and digital control. So the different regions have different ways of handling these waves of opportunity. And of course, this corresponds to different governance. This corresponds also to different roles of the university. And this is my interest, of course. But I see this differentiation sort of taking over in the different regions. And of course, I'm particularly interested in this region. So what is the opportunity that we will have in this region to catch those innovation opportunities and to turn them into economic development? Well, first of all, we have the opportunity because in this region we started now to build the infrastructure. Universities, the research centers, all the stuff that is being developed in a number of countries. And the UAE are one, of course, but we were discussing Saudi Arabia as well. There's been a big effort in that direction. So this has created an infrastructure. It's an infrastructure that wasn't there before. I remember when I first arrived in this country, there were much limited numbers of research universities. Now you have easily 10 to 20 universities here in the UAE that are at the top of the rankings. So this means that the infrastructure has been done. Secondly, there is the notion of creating the critical mass of people, locals and expats alike, that are capable of then moving out. And then there is the notion of the investment. So now I talked about the opportunity. There is also the problem of the risk. The risk is that in these opportunities, in these waves of opportunities, you also have a big scale of investments. If you look at the amount of investment that have been doing in areas where there is a very, very, high risk on the investments like quantum, look at the figures of the China effort on quantum technology. This is a big effort that is being done with a very high probability that some of it will be useless, but then these big regions can afford and will afford it also for a number of political reasons that you know much better than I do. But certainly, the risk is that we'll be able to sort of run all these different races at the same time. So I'm not that much worried of the after oil and gas. I'm worried that we choose the right priorities where we can actually deliver to the region, not only in terms of the individual, the individuals, because that I believe we can do, but also in terms of the change in the ecosystem. And the universities, what will be their role? Well, I know that our chairman is interested and expert in this area, so the universities can have a role, not just their product are not just the people, is also the ecosystem that you can create around them in terms of the innovation initiatives. So, well, I would like to stop here. I think that these problems have another side, and the other side is the opportunity, if we can catch it.
Thank you very much, Professor. Appreciate it.